This is the most annoying bit that you'll ever get to know about Sir Jim Ratcliffe becoming a 25% shareholder at the club of Manchester United, with the meeting set to be held on Thursday to approve his 25% shares at Man United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has found himself in a position of not being able to back Erik ten Hag, and they're obviously going to let you know why this story is obviously out and why it is really one of the most annoying bits that will ever get into this club of Manchester United. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having a wonderful evening. Rokan David is my name, and we are here to bring you these stories concerning Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the takeover. The manager of Portugal is going to hail the captain of Man United, that is Bruno Fernandes, having put up an assist yesterday, and he also went ahead to obviously put in a goal. That is Bruno Fernandes, and he's gone ahead to give him his flowers. And lastly, Victor Lindelof has gone ahead and Eurolized the terrorism acts that really happened yesterday as they are playing with Belgium in Brussels. That is it. So welcome to this channel, and we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barak, Lao, Fiku. Not so? I think we are really ready to go. This is one of the annoying tweets that you'll ever see coming in from The Guardian as far as the takeover of Man United is really concerned. But this is partial takeover, not full takeover that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani was pushing in for. We've been told by The Guardian source that Erik ten Hag is unlikely to be given much money for the transfer market if Ratcliffe bid is accepted, as the financial fair play rule restrictions make it difficult for any investor to provide extra sources for use on signings. Now, what is the financial fair play rule and how does it come into play? This is what we should obviously know. It's the amount of money you spend, it's your income minus the amount of money you spend, and it shouldn't exceed that. Because United spends close to 260 million pounds on salaries. That is it. Then the balance is put on other things like the facilities and so on and so forth. So if we are having money, if you're having the balance that is left is what we should spend in. We should spend into the premises of the amount of money that we have and selling players to raise money. Now, this is where this deal really feels like it's sucking already. One, Erik ten Hag has players at Man United. He doesn't want to be there. And mere selling them will obviously raise us a lot of money. So if Sir Jim Ratcliffe cannot come out and obviously help this club get rid of these players that we've been having at the club of Man United, and the manager doesn't want them to be here, then he has no reason for taking that 25%, and his reception at Old Trafford is not going to be near good. That is it. Now, we look at Harry Maguire. Even if you sell him for 20 million pounds and let's say 30 million pounds, right? You sell Harry Maguire for 30 million pounds, Scott McTominay for 30, that is 60, Anton Martial for like 20, that is 80, Donny van Beek for 20, that is 100 million pounds. Which other player is up for sale? Those are 4 players, and you are getting in 100 million pounds. Now, if we get in 100 million pounds in a January transfer window, that means Ten Hag can use that amount of money to obviously get in some players. For example, he needs a central defender. He can get into Todibo for like 40 million pounds. He needs another striker. He can get another striker for like 50 million pounds. And those are the 2 players that we badly need in our team. And Ten Hag can see that happen with just the sale of those 4 players. So, all I don't want to hear from the Glazers is that we're not going to be having money to spend in the January transfer window yet. They are players that we can sell and get in money. And this to be verified is obviously going to take a lot of time. 4 to 8 weeks is what's going to be required for the Premier League board to approve the 25% takeover of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It's going to take 4 to 8 weeks. Now, let's count maximum 8 weeks, meaning that it's going to take November and December, right? So if it takes November only, that means Sir Jim Ratcliffe will need 100 days to obviously see what to change at Manchester United and what not to change. That is it. So 100 days from the 1st of December, that is December, January, and February. Those are 100 days. You get? Meaning that that's going to be way past the January transfer window, and the manager, and United won't be having a competent CEO, a competent technical director, a competent director of football. Meaning that Richard Arnold, Darren Fletcher, and John Mata are obviously going to be responsible for everything you're going to be doing in between that period of time. You know, we are still in the same mess. We are still in the same mess. Now, what does it mean for Erik ten Hag? No more backing for him. Because when you look at the team of Man United, we need a centre-back, a sub. As soon as the January transfer window happens, we need a centre-back. I've seen us being linked to Goncalo Inacio, right? You get? We need a centre-back at Man United because look at the sheet we are always in. Lisandro Martinez is injured. Luke Shaw is injured, because those are the two players that we have that can play on the left side of the central defense. Varane looks like I don't play 2 or 3 games. It shows you how hard it really gets at the club of Manchester United when we get just one injury. So it doesn't look out well for me. It doesn't sound great for me. It's not music to my ears here, because I don't really feel like we are really moving to the right direction. You know, I was at a certain point really relaxed that let's see how this is going to happen. But when you look at the time that it's going to take for him to obviously take full control of the sporting project at Man United, the January transfer window is obviously going to be elapsed. It's not going to be part of the time for us to settle our issues at Manchester United. You get? Because if it was clear that we are getting in Paul Mitchell, you know, and Cloud as the CEO and Paul Mitchell as the director of football at around the start of December to evaluate the squad with Erik ten Hag and obviously find out players they're going to go in for the January transfer window, that would have been possible. That would have been something great for us, because signings in the January transfer window are really important. I remember the season when we had Ratcliffe as an interim manager at the club of Manchester United. He called up for signings. Enzo Fernandes was like 30 million euros. Julian Alves was 20 million euros. Zakaria, Konrad Laimer, you know, the set of players he was calling in for couldn't even cost 60 million pounds in total. You get? But this board told him, I'm not going to give you any player because you are not a permanent manager here. We are keeping our budget for the newly incoming manager. For the Spurs that went to do that and brought in Kulusevski, Bentancur, and they brought in 3 players. Those 3 additions to the team, you get, pushed Spurs into a huge spike to go into the Champions League, and Manchester United didn't qualify for the Champions League. And not being in the Champions League means that you're missing out on a lot of money, like 70 million pounds from the Champions League. Secondly, even the sponsorship deals are really cut at a certain percentage if at all you are not into the Champions League. That is the ugly bit of the side of not going to the Champions League. So those decisions that we have made before might be the same decisions that are obviously going to see ourselves either go in for players on non-January transfer window, or else not even bring in a player on a permanent deal. The manager is calling in for players like Todibo to come in through and play in the central defense of Man United. He no longer needs Harry Maguire here, Scott McTominay, but the board is keeping them here. That is really ugly, and this is not going to happen, the way we want it to happen. I thought that when you get in the director of football early enough, he discusses his transfers early enough, then he contacts the player before the January transfer window, and the agents of the players. Then you prepare for how you're going to obviously execute this. But Ten Hag has not been given a chance, and there is no backing for Erik Ten Hag in the January transfer window because looks like no money from Sir Jim Ratcliffe because of the financial fair play rule. But to beat the financial fair play rule is something easy. Go out, sell the players. After selling them, get in other players. Because when you sell a player, he goes with his salary. Harry Maguire, £200,000, get him off. Scott McTominay, £13 million, get him off. Sorry, £140,000. That is 340. When you add on the 250 that Martial earns, that is close to £500,000 per week that we're gonna hate to obviously save at the club. So it looks like we are back in the same tune that has been played from the piano of Carrington at Old Trafford by the Glazers. So we wait to see whether changes will be made, but it doesn't sound positive. Now, yesterday Bruno Fernandes was among the best performing players in the field of play as Portugal beat, is it Belarus? No, it's Bosnia by 5-0. And this is what he had to say about Bruno Fernandes. He said Bruno Fernandes is a great professional, an intelligent player who adapts to the qualities of his teammates, who gives a lot of tactical flexibility. He's a dream for a coach. Technically, he has a vision of the game, and I find him to be of exceptional quality. Obviously, there is a player in Bruno Fernandes. No one doubts it. There is a player in Bruno Fernandes. Nobody doubts it. But my worry is that out of the three things he does on the field of play, he costs the team more than thrice the number of good things that's going to hit to make it. Meaning that he can make 9 bad things and make 3 good things. And he's into a position where the team needs him to do a lot of control of the ball. And he's the apex, or he's the link to our center forward. And we don't want to obviously find ourselves in a position of really falling into games like this, because you don't want to obviously not get the best out of your central attacking midfield, and that is Bruno Fernandes. In a situation where you're not having creativity from the wide areas, we need him to be up the peak. I know he's a very good player, but he needs to revise his game. At the age of 28, 29, Bruno needs to become a much more better player by dictating play and putting us in positions that are really good as a team of Manchester United. But he went ahead to score a goal yesterday and put in a couple of assists, and that is really good for the player in Bruno Fernandes. That is it. So, after that, we're obviously going to talk about the game of yesterday that was really called off, that one of the United players was really involved in, that is Victor Lindelof. It was between them and Belgium in their stadium, and 2 people were shot dead. It is referred to as an act of terrorism, and the captain of Sweden, that is Victor Lindelof, has gone ahead and obviously said the following: "I'm shocked and devastated by the terrible incidents in Brussels with the cold-hearted attacks on our fellow Swedes. I'm lost for words for cruelty and inhumanity. I want to send my deepest condolences to the families and friends of those affected. At the same time, my thoughts go out to the supporters in Belgium last night. No one should ever go to a game of football and feel unsafe when supporting their team." That is it. So he's obviously speaking out because this was called in for. This was a very huge scenario that led to the game being paused. 45 minutes were played, but in the second half, the players of Sweden said, we are not obviously going to play the game of football. And I think that game might be replayed today, and see to it that they play the remaining 45 minutes. So we wait and see how that's going to pan out, but that is what is happening with Victor Lindelof and his national team of Sweden as they prepare to return to Carrington to do the required job for the club of Manchester United. So guys, your thoughts on to no backing for Erik ten Hag in January transfer window are welcome in the comment section below, yet it's knocking around the corner. What do you make about Bruno Fernandes being hailed by his national team coach, that is Martinez? What do you make about it? And Lindelof coming in through and obviously putting in his commiserations for the two people that were shot at the stadium before the game kick-started off between Belgium and Sweden. Rokan David remains my name. We thank God for the gift of life. Sorry about that. For the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And how do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is a place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe and smashing it to the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. We out for now, and let's see close to 200 likes smashing this video. Bye bye.